everybody, Megan from I Love Bodywork here, and I am doing 30 ideas in 30 days to increase your health, happiness, and wellness. So today is food planning, and I would like to just
quick disclaimer, I am not a nutritionist, I am not a medical professional, I am a licensed massage therapist and body worker and a certified forest yoga teacher. This food planning is basically me sharing what has worked for me and what has not worked for me over the last few years of playing around with food planning. If you have any concerns about your diet, adding foods, taking away foods, please use common sense, and please talk to a doctor or a nutritionist before you make any changes.
So I basically wrote down what food planning is for me, why I use it, how I started using it, and then just general ideas. We can continue this conversation because I could go for hours talking about this, but I just really want to give you a basic outline. And then once you watch the video, if you have questions or ideas, please comment in the threads at the bottom, and let's get a conversation started about this, because this has been a huge, one of the biggest helps for me, period. Like, above all else, this has been one of the biggest changes that I've made in my life in a positive way. So why I food plan is, number one, for health. I plan the food I'm putting into my body. I know that I'm eating healthy. Two is budget. When you food plan, you basically know what you're going to be buying, so it's able to stay within your budget if you have one. Not only your food budget for the week, like this is how much money I allow myself to spend a week on groceries, but also if you have a budget, which I do, how much money you spend on going out. It allows you to stay within those parameters. The third one is no waste. So what I buy is what gets eaten. I don't have a bunch of leftover crap at the end of the week that is wasted money and wasted food. And then number four is consistency and lifestyle. So food planning allows you to take the concept of a diet and turn it into a lifestyle, and then to be consistent with it, which for me, consistency is one of the hardest things that I consistently have a problem with. So how I started doing this was I figured out how many meals I need a week to food plan for. So for us, we do 6 dinners, 1 going out meal a week, 7 lunches, 7 breakfasts and snacks, and I food plan for all of that. The next thing is to decide what needs to be in or out. So if you have dietary restrictions, if you're gluten-free, if you're dairy-free, all of these things are going to affect. If you need to do multiple meals because you have a dietary restriction but the rest of your family doesn't, this is where you're going to start to structure what your meals look like. And then you're going to structure the week, meaning you have this many meals, you want your meals to look like this based off of your parameters about what you're eating or not eating, and then you're going to write it all down. This is the most important step. Write that shit down, because if you don't, then it's not permanent. It's not an idea. It's just something that's floating around in your head that you may play with when you're grocery shopping, but it doesn't have any weight to it. And then the last thing on the how is to be flexible. So not to get stuck. What I did in the beginning of food planning was I created like a week of meals, and they were delicious meals, and I still use this week for ideas, but I made that week like 6 weeks long. We ate the same thing every single week for 6 weeks, and of course we fell off because you don't want to eat the same shit every week, every day, every week. So being flexible about what you add, what you take away, what you eat, what you cook, what you want to cook, what you want to learn to cook is really helpful for food planning. So as an example, this is what a portion of my how looks like. I food plan for all meals except 1 dinner. So in a week, all of the meals are planned except for 1 dinner, which is a going out meal. The second thing is that I don't buy any breads. We do have a pasta night. Sometimes the pasta will be gluten-free, sometimes it won't. But in general, I don't want bread in the house because I will eat it quickly and with a lot of butter. And then also I try and limit my dairy as much as possible. Limiting dairy allows me to still have some dairy because I don't have any dairy intolerance issues or sensitivities, but it means that I'm not buying ice cream. It means that I'm not buying a ton of cheese. It also means that I'm careful and thoughtful about the things that I'm eating and putting into my body. And then 75% fresh, 25% packaged. So when I go grocery shopping, I look at my cart. I've got all the food that I need based off of the list that I made based off of my food plan. And for me, a goal is to have 3/4 of it be fresh, so fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meats, eggs, things like that, and then the other 25% can be packaged. So what's an example? My pastas, packaged. Trail bars or trail mix, things like that, packaged. Oils that come in glass or plastic containers, packaged. One of the ways I was able to help with this is I started buying more things in bulk. So I like that because it decreases the packaging you're using, which is almost always plastic, and the less plastic we have in our lives, the better. Also, I immediately increased the amount of fruits and vegetables I was buying. And when you do that, you're actually spending less food. The more fresh food you have, that's including meats that are part of the most expensive part if you buy meat or if you eat meat. Including meats, the cost that I was spending on food went down as soon as I increased the fresh things that I was buying and decreased the amount of packaged things that I was buying. It's awesome. So this is what all of this looks like for me. There's 100 ways that you could individualize this, change it up, make it specific for you and your family. It's awesome. For me, what my week looks like, and this is what helps me to stay on track, is I know that we're gonna have 2 nights a week that we do a meat and a veg, maybe a grain. I know we're gonna have 1 night a week that we do a seafood and a veg, maybe a grain. I'm gonna have a pasta night or a flatbread night. That is a vegetarian meal, and we do a lot of vegetables with it. So like zucchinis, mushrooms, onions, bell pepper, eggplant, any combination of things like that. I know that we're gonna have a salad night, and usually a salad night for us consists of adding some kind of beans or roasted potatoes to it to give it a little bit more oomph. And I know that we're gonna have 1 additional vegetarian meal, and that vegetarian meal could either be another salad night, it could be a vegetarian soup, or it could be like veggie tacos or burritos. We've been really into making those lately. Or it's gonna be a leftover night. If I notice that we have a lot of leftovers, it's gonna be a leftover night instead. And then we have 1 going out meal. So all of those things equals to 7 dinners. Every single week, I use this to write my grocery list or to make my grocery list that I then stick to vehemently, because if I don't, I will just go crazy buying an insane amount of stuff. So for my lunches are either going to be leftover dinner, or it's going to be some kind of mixture of salad or vegetables or things like that to use up what I bought to make sure everything's getting used. Breakfast for me, I food plan as well, and it's part of my grocery list every week, is either quinoa and berries or oatmeal and berries if I'm getting tired of quinoa. I also do soft or hard-boiled eggs, and I do smoothies, and then maybe if the food that we had the night before for dinner or the leftovers are congruent with my idea of what breakfast is or what I want to eat, I might add that in as well. Again, the goal being that you're using what you buy. And then snacks. I food plan my snacks out like crazy because I don't want to go overboard on snacks, but I also want to allow myself to have some foods that are not like the epitome of healthiness. It makes me happier, and I'm not reaching for perfection. I'm reaching for health and being good about my finances. So the snacks generally that we'll food plan are like snack bars, trail mix bars. Brandon really likes trail mix bars. Sometimes I'll food plan adding a little bit of extra fruit so I can take some fruit, or chips. I really like different kinds of like cheesy, crunchy, not very healthy chips. So I food plan what those snacks that are unhealthy or healthy are going to be, so I know that I'm not overdoing it. So instead of buying 5 chocolate bars for the week, which I could eat 5 chocolate bars in one sitting, I will food plan 2 really good chocolate bars, and those chocolate bars have to last me the week. And for me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that amount of sugar in my diet. I'm okay. It makes me happier because I love chocolate. When I get a snack fix, I know that there's some chips that I can eat, even though they're not super healthy, and it makes me happier and mentally am less rigid as well. So if you have any questions about any of this, I'll take a picture of this and put it on Facebook. If you have any questions, specifically, if you are a vegetarian or you're vegan, or you have a specific diet restriction or diet lifestyle, and you do food planning and you have like a week of food planning, you can give us an example. Please comment on this video so we could all look at what a different food planning style looks like. If you food plan differently than what this is, please share the information. Or maybe you have an author or a book that you got ideas from that you found helpful. Please share with us. I think food planning is one of the most important things you can do to increase your health, happiness, and wellness. So thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate any support you're willing to give. If you want to share this video, like this video, comment, tag people, that would be wonderful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.